Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning. Thanks for both of you. Thanks for what you've done for our country over your careers, you and your family. What a sacrifice it's been, but done an outstanding job. Admiral, I think far too long we've had our eyes on other things and not on our hemisphere, whether it's illegal migrants, drugs, or both. So what is Special Operations community doing to assist the militaries and governments in our hemisphere like Panama to combat narco-terrorists?
Senator, in my current capacity, I'm not privy to all of the activities that SOCOM is engaged in the Southern Hemisphere, but in listening and watching General Fenton and his leadership over these last 3 years, I know that the partnerships that our teams have been engaging in and developing remain critical to being able to help them build capacity to be able to defend themselves, but also to provide security locally, which of course helps to prevent and secure our southern border as well.
Yeah, you're very. I'm sure you're up on the point of the Darien Gap and the problems it's caused over the years, and relationship with our special ops down in that area, training people. That'll probably be in your forte going forward. What's your thoughts about cooperation activities with Latin America as going into this job?
Yes, sir. I think as the counterterrorism fight informs us, it is far better to find the root of the problem well away from our borders than it is to have to defend them internal to the United States. And so if confirmed, making it a priority to provide assistance to all of our combatant commanders as far forward as possible and with with those partnered forces to help them to be able to secure their own territory.
Yeah, we have problems all over the world, but if we don't watch our back door, then we're going to have really problems within our country, which we already have. General, I think we need to be reinforcing our military presence in Africa. Unfortunately, under the previous administration, we seemed like we were doing just the opposite. Niger, you and I talked about this in a meeting in my office. The vacuum that was caused there, China, Russia, Iran, were all too happy to feel the things that we were doing there. What's your assessment of our withdrawal from Air Base 201, and have we learned from these lessons, and your thoughts about maybe the future there?
Senator, I appreciate that question, and there was significant investment that went into that air base. It was in a key area for us to be able to monitor the threat, so the loss of that is one that we'll have to find creative ways to continue to get the indicators and warnings of what the terrorists are doing in that area. I think we also have to understand that there is some volatility across the continent, so how do we make smart investments with the partners that we can continue to sustain? I will say that the relationships that we built in Niger with the military over several decades are still there. When the time is right, I believe there will be an opportunity, but that time will have to be determined, and if confirmed, I'll look at what that is.
Yeah, after your confirmation, I guess by telling the committee and people even watching at home, why do we need to have presence in Africa? What is your thoughts?
So Africa is key to any strategy. It sits on strategic terrain, just the waterways that it forms between the Straits of Gibraltar all the way down through the Suez Canal and the Red Sea. It is critical minerals and resources that are on the continent that we need for the future economy. Both China and Russia see their strategies going through the continent, and they are going to engage there. And so we can cede that ground or we can compete in that ground. And I think we have a very powerful tool to compete with. As Admiral Bradley mentioned, nobody brings more credibility to the counterterrorism fight than the U.S. As a matter of fact, when we rescued that hostage in Niger, the next morning was an influential blogger that posted, "The Americans came like the lion in the night. They killed their enemies and rescued their own." No other nation on earth could do that. And that is a powerful symbol across the continent and around the world of what our military and what the United States is capable of. And I do think that some level of engagement in Africa does matter. I'd agree it's an economy of force, but a small investment goes a long way so that we don't have strategic surprise that then distracts the United States from focusing on the rising threats in the Pacific and other areas.
Thank you. Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Tuberville, and well said, General Anderson. Senator Sheehy.